my precious friends. We are in Monday study dealing with scandals, dealing with scandals, especially sexual scandals or immorality within the church. That's the focus of these first couple of days of our study this week. Click on the links below these videos, and I think you will be encouraged to find resources that will help you in your walk with God. All right, let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 5, 1 to 13 again. Dealing with these sensitive matters in the church really requires a lot of patience. It requires love. It requires great care and prayer. It requires really mature people who know God, because the potential for hurt and harm is really great when situations like these arise. There are many people who are impacted not just by the behavior of the one who is perhaps committing sin, but the way the sin is dealt with. Sometimes the way the church deals with discipline can be worse even than the act itself, right? So how does Paul say that the church should deal with this problem? Paul makes it clear, 1 Corinthians chapter 5, that sexual scandals require discipline. Right? So he's not absolving anyone of anything. He's saying you got to deal with it. He says the ancestral man must be removed. 1 Corinthians 5 and verse 2. Not only that, but he must be judged. Verse 3, delivered to Satan. That's hard for us to comprehend in our modern way of thinking. Get him over to Satan, 1 Corinthians 5:5, and then put away, 1 Corinthians 5:13. And then church members are not to associate with him, 1 Corinthians 5:9 and 11, or even eat with him. So that's pretty strong language, right? Address the issue, remove the person, judge them, give them over to Satan, put them away, don't associate with them, don't eat with them. Now that sounds very harsh to us, but Paul has a reason why he is saying these things. One, this person is living a flagrantly sinful lifestyle. It's not like they did not know. They're living in open rebellion. Right? So Paul is saying this is not someone who is immediately repentant. They may become repentant, and there's an inkling in 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verses 5 to 10 that this person may be the same person that is repentant and sorrowful, and Paul encourages the church to welcome this person back into fellowship. Might be the same person. Right? So he's not saying forever, but when he says, listen, abandon them, give them over to the enemy, what he's saying is this person needs to feel the consequences of their own behavior. And if they will not choose God as Lord, they are putting themselves in the hands of their Lord, which is Satan. And Paul says, have nothing to do with that. Let him be removed from among you. This refers to church discipline. The church must discipline in this situation. Deliver this person to Satan. Paul is not throwing them away forever, but he's saying immoral behavior is dangerous and it must be set apart. It must be separated. In ancient times, sharing a meal could mean sharing values. And Paul is saying, I don't want you to share the values of being influenced by this person. Not only that, not only not associate, but that this person may be saved. That Paul is saying this radical way of dealing with this issue, because it's so public and because the person is so unrepentant, is a way to shock them perhaps into a change, into repentance, so that they will give their hearts to God. Yes, he says, listen, that their flesh may be destroyed, right? But the flesh is wasting away. The flesh is the problem. Paul is saying that his spirit might be saved, and that he might be renewed in his mind. That's what the apostles really after. It's really about rehabilitation and reformation for this person. And because the person is at such an extremity, extreme measures are needed. All right, that's our study today.